Guys, I've been so bad about logging in, but I do have a whole list of codes we can try to input. So there is that. Hello, friends and gamers. It's time for 2.7 patch video. I think, we have two characters we need to, all right, let's just get right into it. We have two characters we need to get into. I might have the Welcome Home Cheater event again, because I literally don't think I've logged in since I did my olive polls. Yeah, I think it's been that long. Gutian, why'd you freeze for a second there, Gutian? You okay? Oh yeah, I have expired cells. I knew I would. Sorry, there was an eyelash in my eye. This was really bad timing. Okay, hopefully it doesn't come back. It could have just been mascara. It's probably just mascara. Anyways, 2.7 patch time. We have two characters to go through and events and things like that. This is my first time logging in this month. I've been really bad with reverse, okay? I don't think I've been this bad since I started playing again, which like means we might go in guns blazing on events this patch, just because that seems to be the one surefire way to get me like full back in on a game. So I did already see today's letter on social media. Oliver sees a letter from Recoletta along with the 3rd edition of the Turquoise Serpent Claw. I did already see this on Twitter this morning. So like, that's the one thing. Even if I'm not logging into reverse myself, I do see the little login messages a lot more frequently than I actually log in myself, because everyone's posting them. So like, to be fair though, if I'm behind on the patch video itself, that usually means I'm behind on logging in, because I'm like, well, I can't log in until I do the patch video. But obviously we have our Echoes in Space login. This is 12 days left at the time of recording, so there is plenty of time to get your first 7 unilogs. You just gotta log in every day, which isn't that hard. We have our Between Rainy Seasons, if you do stuff, you get stuff event. So we have our easy version gifts. We have 5 jars of candy and 10,000 roar decibels to get started in the battle pass with, as well the awards or rewards that are currently available, and I'm not moving the box. We're just gonna go down the list because you can see the text and that's all that matters. You gotta finish part 1 of 1987 Cosmic Overture on story mode, so you really just have to start the event, which I don't think we'll be doing Cosmic Overture during this patch. I'm instead going to focus on doing main story and character events, because main story I have to get caught up with, and then character events, character story quest events don't rerun. Cosmic Overture will rerun a couple patches from now, so that's fine. And then it'll be permanent. So if you don't do Cosmic Overture during this patch, I wouldn't prioritize it. If you have other things you want to prioritize in-game, the main story event actually isn't what you need to prioritize, quite frankly. Unless you want some of the rewards. Quite frankly, we might go through Cosmic Overture like a speed run round where we skip the story just to get the rewards and then come back later. I'm still debating if I want to do that, because I do have built characters now where we very likely could do that. We also get another jar of Brachasm candy for completing HISSABETH's survey stage, which we will be doing in this video. Also, if you play one game of Puppet Arena, you get the apple. The fruit of good and evil. I just call it the apple. Snake apple. But we will be doing Puppet Arena. I have a love for Puppet Arena, so we will be doing that. Not in this video though. Puppet Arena gets its own video. Then 12 days from when I'm recording this, if you do the first part of Doomsday and the days after. Doomsday and the days after. Whose story quest is that? It's 12 days from now. So that means whose second half? Kip Arena. That poor kid. Why is it Doomsday? Anyways, if you do part 1, special part 1. Interesting. I'm pretty sure that's Kip Arena's, yeah. I'm not sure though, because it's special. Interesting, we'll see. In 12, that's for me to figure out during the half patch. 5 days from now then, when the alarm sounds complete 2 different rain hazards. I think this is like an end game thing. I don't know what goes on in end game. But also if you do Kip Arena survey stage, which we'll do in 12 days, and then doing 1 battle in Reveries in the Rain gets you another reward, but I don't have that unlocked yet, and I don't do end game anyway, so that probably doesn't really apply to me anyways. Those are our login rewards, though. We have our new card, the Star. This is based on the Star Tarot card, which is a real tarot card. It's one of the big ones. And it's for Voyager. So I actually didn't know that most people didn't know that these tarot cards, the garments, are based on actual real-life tarot cards. The Star is one of the big ones. So I forget the other two, but they are based on real-life tarot cards, which is really, really cool for me because I like tarot cards. I think they're cool. But yeah, fun fact. Fun fact, because I didn't know everyone didn't know that. So fun fact. This is the garment that you get with the paid tier of the battle pass though. I don't have Voyager, so I will not be doing the paid tier, but I still think this is beautiful. In fact, Voyager's might be my favorite. I just love it so much. And I think like the Star really fits her as well. Maritime Rescue then is, I think this is just character upgrade related. Oh wait, growth materials. Okay, no, that's Complete tasks to earn a Euphoria instant boost. What are the tasks then? So with Maritime Rescue, okay, yeah, we'll look at that in a second. Oh, you need to have cleared chapter 5. See, this is why we're working at this. All right, claim all. Ba-bam! I also have, I have maintenance rewards and then web event rewards in here. So 540 clear drops in total. We go battle pass. We will take a look at everything. Don't worry. This is like, I just have to click through everything. I love, if I get Voyager during this patch, like if I lose a 50-50 or something, like if we get her during this patch, I will throw down money to get the Voyager garment because this is beautiful. I would not be, that's the thing. I don't think Voyager is on the 6-star selector. If she was, I would get it. Because the thing with the login rewards for this patch, it takes you up to decibel level 11. 10, 11, it usually always does. And you need to get to decibel level 10 to get the garment. So it's basically like, it's free real estate as long as you pay for it, obviously. Like it's right here. But it's like, I think collector's edition is like $5. It's literally not that bad. Like, and like it's like free, it's free real estate. It's like $5 real estate. Sure, fine. Our 6-star selector, because that's the thing. Okay, Voyager is after you finish chapter 2, so we actually can grab Voyager. Here's the thing. There's other characters I want on here as well. I think I'm okay skipping the first tier characters. I'm sorry, Pickles, but I don't need to grab you. I think I already have Eternity and New Babel though, so like I already have them. An Lee and Charmaine, I love and would love to have them on my account, but I will say An Lee and Charmaine get reruns pretty frequently. I want Medicine Pocket. That is also a problem, but also looking at this, Mineral and Star characters are the new tier of characters that I really need the most of. So like if we go to my characters here, I think I'm still pretty low on star characters. Like 6-star star characters, yeah. I only have Barcarola. So like I have 5-star star characters that I do throw down from time to time. But like if we look at my amount of 6-star plant characters, it's pretty high. Like I have 4 6-star plant characters, and then I have quite a few viable 5-star plant characters as well. And then Beast, I've actually have less Beast 6 stars. I only have 3, but I mean, I have other viable, you can see by who I have like up top here, I have other viable 5-star Beast characters that I do frequently use as well. So like Beast and Plant are like pretty solid for me now. Plant I was struggling with for a while, but Star, I only have Barcarola at 6-star, and even my 5-stars, like I use Blondie quite a bit, and then I'll throw in Charlie or Baby Blue in like a worst case scenario. I feel I don't use Matilda as much as I would like to, but I think I might grab Voyager because I really like the Battle Pass garment, like real bad. It's really nice. In case nominations, so we have to grab it. Use now. Okay. The first tier we don't need. 3rd tier though, I think I'm okay skipping 3rd tier as well. I feel like the options were switched around, no? Because I feel like I remember Jessica being in 3rd tier, but I'm not mad. I think I'm gonna grab Voyager. I wish there was a way to fully, okay, you can look at them. Debuff and DPS control, mass attack, mass counter. I think I'm gonna grab Voyager, and I know we're gonna save it. We're gonna save it for a hot second because we're gonna do our polls first. I don't have a ton of polls we can do, but we're gonna save it for now. And at the end of the video, we will do that where we grab the garment if I decide I'm gonna do that. So we're gonna sit on that for a little bit here, but there's a very good chance we end up getting Voyager and her garment by the end of the video. I'm just saying. Before we get on with the rest of the video though, well, this particular video is not sponsored. I am a partnered creator with Reverse 1999 and will receive compensation for those videos. So I'm looking at this like, technically it would be a business expense. I'm kidding, but also not. Okay, we have a lot of stuff to go through. Let us open up our notices and go through some of the basic patch notes. I did technically go through the patch notes already, so we're just gonna really quickly buzz through these. We have the HISSABETH banner that goes until the 24th. Argus's banner ends on the 15th, so there's a couple of days for her rerun here. Oh, also the HISSABETH banner has name day as well, which is why I'm pulling on it, because I want HISSABETH and name day. But that's why I think I'm pretty close to a character. So I'm like, okay, we should sit on this. I might get Voyager from a 50-50 loss. I might get somebody else from a 50-50 loss. We'll see. The Argus, oh, that was it. I wanted to buy the outfit garment for Argus as well. So I probably will spend a little bit more than the battle pass just because I am wanting to get the Argus garment as well. I feel like getting a garment for Argus is a character I use a lot. So if it's a character I use a lot and I like the garment, I'm like, yeah, I'm probably gonna buy it. I also have some rainbow drops. I think that's what they're called. The pink ones. I have some of those sitting in my account specifically for reasons like this, where because I know there's other garments I want. There's garments I think in the next patch as well that I'm already looking forward to. So if we go a little over on buying drops, I'm not mad about it because they will be used in the next couple of patches. We have Barcarolas as well. I do like Barcarolas a lot too, but not as much as I like Argus's, so priorities. World Jukebox has the Voyager outfit. We have new packs in the shop. We have the new Wilderness set. And then we have the whole preview bit here. I'm not going to go through all of this just because I already did that in the catch-up pre 2.7, even though I recorded it after 2.7. But yeah. The 2.7 web event is still going on. That's also has its own video. And I think we can kind of get into it now. So do we go right into, I'm going to do the shop stuff first, just so we know what we're working with. So we have the stuff here. We have our weekly tribute. Is that new? I feel like I said that last time too. Miracle Mart is the shop rerun thing, essentially. So we have the travel scrapbook theme, Cosmic Poem. This is not like reruns technically, but this is like the travel scrapbook theme for this patch. We have the garment rerun, the Genius's Holiday for Matilda. It's so cute. She's so cute. Zero Gravity Trope is a portrait. I don't think this is technically a rerun either. I think this is technically also for this patch, which is why it has the discount. Shadowplay at Candlelit Night. I think that, yeah, it's supposed to be Candlelit Night. Also, my box is covering the full name over here, but this is a little thing. I don't know if that's a rerun or not. We have our free old tickets, so we're going to grab those. Then actually new wonders. Okay, this stuff is all new. And then the rewards revisited is the rerun stuff. So that is going to be the Adventure on the Mountain garment for Leilani, the Novum Caput portrait icon. Reflection of the Moon Palace is a wilderness building. And then we have some insight caskets as per usual. I think technically we can use yeah, you're allowed to use the tickets to buy this stuff, but I don't really use any of this stuff, so that's why I have 5,600 tickets just kind of sitting on my account. They're just kind of waiting for something that I really am intrigued with, because we have not gotten there yet. But that is Miracle Mart there. I think next we'll open up Cosmic Overture, yeah? We're gonna skip the cutscene because I've already done a video reacting to the cutscene. But ooh, that's cool. With the moon, ooh. So this is now our main event, Cosmic Overture event. This will go for 23 days, just about from the time of recording this. And then Silver Delivery is going to be our shop. This does run for 3 extra days, 26 days. There is the never-ending Q&A side cube in here, as well as Gluttony. And then we have Unilogs, as well as the Cosmic Overture theme cassette tapes, and then the limited wilderness things are here as well. That is part of the Sent to Homeland tier. Sent to Tomorrow tier is going to be like building character mats sort of stuff. And then Sent to Space is going to be basic currency type things. So this is what, there's no limit on the amount of these you can buy. So that's when you go through everything in this shop, you end up here. So that is Cosmic Overture. Like I said, this will be rerun a couple patches from now, and then after it's rerun, it will become permanent content. So if you don't want to prioritize doing this event, but you still want the rewards, it could even be worth it to go through, like I might go through speedrun, and then when the event is officially available, we'll do it. I might try that out for this patch and see if that is a possible thing we can do. We'll do the event then in full, like for content. Like I might speedrun it off camera even. We'll do the event for content and like go through the story and all that when it is rerun later on, because I do want my rewards, but I'm very behind. Like I've said this in another video, I think. I have reverse 1999 content that I haven't finished editing that needs to go up from like January. So there's other things we have to prioritize. Friendly match then is part of Puppet Arena. We will get to this. This is 26 days left. Gap month then is HISSABETH's character story. She's so baby. We will be doing her survey in a hot second, but we're gonna go through her kit first. The anecdote for Fatutu is already available as well. This I will be trying to do as well, because the anecdotes don't get rerun, character story events don't get rerun. So we have to prioritize what doesn't get rerun. Reveries in the Rain then, this is Endgame. And then When the Alarm Sounds, Doomsday and the Days After, and then the Floor to the Golden City reruns are not out yet. We will probably take a look at these next 3 events that are still locked in the half patch, even though When the Alarm Sounds opens before that. The 12-day mark here, that is the half patch. So I might wait an extra day to do the half patch video just so we can see that Floor to the Golden City is there. I might also try to do the speed run it when it's being run as an event, and then we'll rerun it like for real with the story later on for Floor to the Golden City. I might try to do that if there's rewards with that as well, because I do believe when the events are rerun like officially, there's the rewards with them. I'm not sure if you get those if you do them when they unlock as permanent content. So we will see. However, we have character kits to look at. So we are going to start by checking out our banners here. So then there is HISSABETH. She's another plant character, but I really like her. Shooting in the dark for Argus, ripples on the water. I mean, if I had to select, I'd be selecting Voyager at this point in time. You do get a not half off, 30% off 10 pull if you're doing ripples on the water, but I tend not to do ripples on the water. So then there's our regular banner. Okay, so before we pull, we're gonna do a quick kit. Actually, you know what? I think we're gonna start with name day and then we'll do HISSABETH, just because usually I work my way up with like the other gacha games I play. I'll do the 4-star, then the 5-star, or the A rank, then the S rank. So I think we're gonna actually do that today, because usually I do it the other way around. But we'll start with a name day. Name day doesn't have a survey either, so that's fine. He's listed as both a support and a DPS, but oh my god, I love his art. Oh my god. Okay, so we're gonna go through his kit really quickly. He's a 5-star, so it's not gonna be as intricate as other like 6-star kits, which is totally fine. His ultimate is called Etched in Snow. This is a mass buff then. It grants ultimate damage plus 50% to all allies for 3 rounds. I see where the support comes in then. It grants a name to the adjacent ally in front for 2 rows. And what this name is it doesn't use any action points when you cast an ult for the next 2 rounds. So if you're gonna cast her, I think then, yeah, if you'd want to run his ult before the ults of anyone else in your team, that's how that would probably work then. His attack incantation then is called Circular Maneuvers. It is a mass attack that at rank 1 deals 120% mental damage to 2 enemies. So we love multi-target attacks here. After that, also, did these always, like, did the background always blur when you like pull something up? Did it always blur when you, is that new? Can I say it actually is really helpful to me? Because I get distracted really easily. Okay, at Incantation rank 2, it deals 160% damage, and it has an extra bonus buff. 160% mental damage to 2 enemies, and dispels all counter statuses from the targets. So obviously, if you are using name day on your teams, you want to stack this at least to rank 2, and that's you can't. In a worst case scenario, it could be rank 1, but at least rank 2 is probably what you want, because this dispelling is going to be really helpful. At rank 3, then, it deals 300% mental damage to 2 enemies, and it still dispels all counter statuses. Yeah, so at the very least, if you're using him more as a support, you'd obviously want this rank 2 at least. I don't think going to rank 3 if you're using him as a support character is necessary, but if you're using him more as a DPS, then yeah, you want to go to rank 3, obviously, because that's a really big jump, 160 to 300. Because 120 to 160 isn't as big as 160 to 300. Obviously, if you're using him as a DPS, you want to rank 3 on that, but if you're using him as a support, 2 is fine. You know, like store-bought is fine. His buff incantation then is called As You Wish. I really like the art for this as well. I don't know what it is, I just really like it. But this is a mass buff, and at rank 1, it ups the amount of damage dealt by 20% and damage heal plus 20%. I'm assuming that is the amount, like that's just like your healing percentage, I guess, for all allies for 2 rounds. But it looks like this pretty much stays the same throughout. You don't get anything extra. Yeah, so you could probably run this at any rank. At rank 2, it's going to be 25% for 2 rounds across the board. And then at rank 3, it's 35% across the round for 35% across the board for 3 rounds. So I think to get the most out of him, you probably want to get to incantation rank 3 on As You Wish, just because it is it's a pretty big jump on the percentage, and then it's an extra round, but the 2 rounds also doesn't suck, I guess. And then obviously, if you're running him as a DPS, you want to focus on the attacks, but if you're running him as a support, you'd want to focus on stacking the buffs, essentially. He is listed as a support first, though, so I think personally, I would think he's more of a sub DPS at most, but I think you should probably be running him as a support. I thought going into this, he was more of a support, just from everything I'd heard, so like that doesn't surprise me. But yeah, run him as a support. There's going to be some crazy people out there, and I say that lovingly. There's going to be, in awe, there's going to be some crazy people out there who run him as a DPS, and I look forward to seeing those team comps. I do. As somebody who also takes support characters and runs them as DPSs for the meme, I look forward to seeing what the reverse 1999 community can come up with kit-wise for him. I do look forward to it. We all have a little bit too much time on our hands sometimes, especially when it comes to our favorite little guys. In terms of his insight levels, though, at Insight 1, after taking an action, you grant 2 stacks of Ceremonious to the adjacent ally in front. So that would mean you're probably not going to want to put him in the first slot on your team, no matter what. I would put him second, even third. Depends on who you want to buff, technically. Ceremonious, though, ups ultimate might. Also, I know my box is covering it, but I'm not moving anything. It ups ultimate might by 3% with up to 100 stacks that are all undispellable and disappear after casting an ultimate. So, like, it's kind of cracked, I'm not gonna lie. Obviously, the goal is to get to Insight 3, so, like, I'm not saying, like, his Insight 1 might be, but his Insight 1 might be the best one, quite frankly. At Insight 2, then, damage taken is minus 8% when the caster enters battle, so immediately when Nameday gets in the field, less damage taken. We love to see it. At Insight 3, then, when the adjacent ally in front casts an ultimate, Nameday gains Moxie +1. I don't know what he does with that Moxie. Because, like, usually a character will be like, this is, get up their Moxie to do this, but it doesn't really say that for him. Anyways, yeah, he's really a support character. I don't know why they put DPS here, probably because he does some damage with this mass attack, but that's just because you only have so many slots in a reverse 1999 team. It's very common for them to put, like, an attack with a buff in it, because, like, this is an attack with a buff, or, like, I guess a debuff in it, technically, because it dispels things. It's a debuff dispeller. So, like, he's really a support. I really think you'd have a hard time trying to make him a DPS. It's not impossible because he does have this attack skill, but it would be very hard. Like I said, though, I know there's going to be some crazy people who figure it out. There's going to be some wild people who figure out how to make this work as a DPS kit, and I look forward to seeing it on my timeline at like 2 in the morning. Anyways, pay to play time. So if you're new here, what is pay to play time? It's not as serious for a 5-star character because you will get copies of this character, especially if you're pulling for like the 6-star, you're gonna get multiple copies of the character most likely. So it's not as serious for a 5-star, but the pay to play section is essentially, if you want multiple copies of a character, you get extra things, but the more that number goes up in a gacha game, you have to spend money. And the more it goes up, the more money you have to spend, essentially. It is a little bit tricky when it comes to a, like, 5-star, in this case for reverse 1999, because with a 6-star, you're guaranteed at a certain amount to get a certain copy, or you're guaranteed at a certain number of pity to get XYZ amount copies of the character, right? So you can kind of guesstimate it a little bit. However, with a 5-star in this case, it's not guaranteed. So, like, you could do like 700 pulls and still get like 1 copy of Nameday. I'm not saying to do that, but it gets a little weird with 5-star characters for that reason. Personal recommendation, I don't recommend trying to max out a 5-star character like out of your own volition, because it's usually pretty common to, over time, max them out anyways. Like, I have plenty of 5-star characters maxed out or close to being maxed out on my account at this point. It just happens over time. But if you're pulling for the 6-star, it's a lot more likely to happen because the pity rates are raised when they're like a banner character. It's not guaranteed that you're going to max them out, though. So there is that. You could max them out in like 2 10 pulls, though. Like, you never know. Like, you never know where luck's going to be. And usually it's, if you want the 5-star, you're not going to get any copies of them. But if you don't want them, you're going to get a lot of copies. Also, both characters on this banner, actually every character in this patch, every new character will be going to the standard banner about 2 patches from now in 3.0. So if you're okay waiting, there's a very good chance you could lose a 50-50 and get, well, that's for the 5-star, but like, if just like casual pulling on any banner, you'll get copies of Nameday 2 patches from now. So like, I would just recommend waiting. But we'll go through everything. All the information we just went over is going to be at P0, so portrait level 0, that's like 1 clean copy of the character. At portrait level 1 or 2 copies of Nameday, this is a buff for circular maneuvers, which is the attack incantation. This ups the percentages to 160% for incantation rank 1, 240% for rank 2, and 360 for rank 3. I do think this is a good buff because it does buff out those numbers a pretty good amount. Actually, I feel like they're more even now, because at first, like, it was 120, 160, and 300. I'm like, that's not that even. Like, that doesn't feel that even, but 160, 240, and 360 seems a lot more even. However, I don't think circular maneuvers is his best. Like, it doesn't buff out what you'd be using circular maneuvers for, which is the debuff dispel. So I don't think it's that great, but this might, like, sometimes gacha games will do this thing where they'll use the portraits or like the extra copies of a character to completely change the character's kit. So if you want to run Nameday as a DPS, this is for you, essentially. I don't know if the whole portrait list is going to end up being that way. I could read ahead, but I'm not really reading ahead, I'm talking. So this portrait level 1 is if you want to make Nameday a DPS. quite frankly. You don't need it if you're using him as a support, obviously, but it would still be good to have in any case scenario. At portrait level 2 then, or 3 copies of Name Day, this is a buff for As You Wish, which is the buff incantation. So with this one, the damage dealt and damage heal bonuses are increased to 25% at rank 1, 30% at rank 2, and then 40 at rank 3. Again, I don't think you like, this is one of those cards I'm like, yes, it'd be nice to have. It's actually nicer to have than portrait 1, quite frankly, but you don't need it. It doesn't do anything crazy, but he is a 5-star, so none of his portraits are really going to do anything crazy. I do think portrait level 2 is more worth it than portrait level 1 though, especially if you're using him as a support like he's meant to be used. If you want to use him as a DPS though, you could get that portrait level 1 and just be on your way. Portrait level 3 then, or 4 copies of Name Day, is a buff for Unforgettable Bonds, which is his passive skill stuff that you get with insight levels. And with this one, the amount of ceremonious granted to the adjacent ally in front is increased to 3 stacks. So with this here, it's 2 stacks at Insight 1. So instead you get 2 extra stacks of ceremonious. I think his portrait level 3 is probably his best, just because I think the ceremonious stacks are going to be quite good because they're kind of cracked a little bit. Like, I think they're going to be good support. Portrait level 4 then, or 5 copies of Name Day. This is a buff for Etched in Snow, which is the name of his ult. I don't think I even read the name of his ult now that I'm thinking about it, quite frankly. But with this one, the duration of a name, I have no idea how to say it, granted, is extended to 3 rounds. So normally it's 2 rounds, so you get an extra round with this. I don't think it's as great of a buff as like the 1 stack to 3 stacks that you get in Portrait 3, but it's still good to have. Because what does this do again? This, oh, you don't need action points or anything to cast an ultimate. So it's still good to have, but it doesn't seem like it's as good as level 3, which usually 2 and 4 are going to be what I like to call means to an end portrait levels, wherein you're not going to stop there, but you're going to keep going. However, I think 2 is probably one of his better portraits. So I don't really think there's any means to an end portrait upgrades here. I think they're all just like little things that you get with him, which we like to see. We actually do like to see that. I don't think anything's like redundant. With portrait level 5 then, this is another buff for his ultimate Etched in Snow. And with this one, the ultimate damage bonus granted to all allies is increased to 65%. So it's not a huge increase. That being said, I don't think you need to go all the way to 5, but it's really common that you will just go all the way to 5, if not during this patch, then during like 3.0 and onwards when he goes into the standard pool. So I do like that all of these are like at least a little bit worth it, because you'll probably get all these copies eventually. If you're like a steady puller in this game, you'll probably end up maxing out Name Day at some point, especially if you plan on pulling for HISSABETH. It's probably just gonna happen. So I think his best portraits then are probably level 2, and to a lesser degree level 3. 2 and 3 I think are his best. So I think if you really like I said, I don't recommend trying to max out at all, and you will just probably max out the character over time. But if you really want to get multiple copies, you're pulling a bunch for HISSABETH, maybe you're a big spender and you want the copies anyways, I think ending at 2 or 3 would probably be your best bet. But I do think he's probably totally fine to run without any portraits anyways. However, we will be getting the portraits as time goes on, so it does just happen. All right, hello Gautier. I was moving on to do the character trial, and then I remembered we don't have a survey for Name Day. Sorry, buddy. All right, time for HISSABETH then. All right, HISSABETH, 6-star plant DPS. She does have Moxie listed here, so I feel like having the extra Moxie with Name Day, it all comes together. I also am now noticing she has snake designs on her boots. That's really cool. So going right into it, this is our 6-star character. Right after we do this, we'll go through her survey. But with HISSABETH, her ultimate is called Experimental Rocketry. This is a mass attack that deals 500% mental damage to all enemies. Wow. On hitting a target, the Genesis damage taken by that target at the end of this round from each stack of Serpentine scales is increased from 20% to 70%. And at the end of the round, convert all Serpentine scales into an equivalent number copies of rank 1 Hiss, which is, I'm assuming, probably an attack card or something. Serpentine scales, though, we got a lot going on here. I wouldn't call it rocket science yet, but we might get there. So with Serpentine scales at the end of the round, so after all your incantation cards play, 50% plus the number of stacks times 20%. I can't even do the math. I can't even try to begin explaining the math of what's going on here. So it's a certain amount times HISSABETH's attack of Genesis damage, right? A certain amount of Genesis damage. It's based on HISSABETH's attack. Build her attack. Easy. She scales on attack. This effect can critically hit, it can crit, all right, and benefits from ultimate might bonuses. After each trigger, Ultimate Might, that was name day. It's all coming together. After each trigger of this effect, 1 stack of Serpentine Scales is converted into 1 stack of Snake Stem and granted to HISSABETH. Snake Stem is, we'll get to that in a second. We'll get to it in a second. When the holder of this status dies, the remaining stacks of Serpentine Scales are transferred onto the ally with the highest attack. So there is like a fail-safe here, which means she could be a good character, like a good DPS for endgame specifically, because if your character dies, surprise! The status can stack up to 8 times and is undispellable. Snake's Den then is a place where the snake siblings nestle. The status can stack up to 8 times, which I think is funny because I think isn't there 9 of them? It's HISSABETH the 9th, because then that would make sense. There's 8 snakes. I thought there was 9 snakes though, but maybe there's 8. Also undispellable, at the start of the round, this unit adjusts the stacks of Snake's Den on self so that the combined total of Snake's Den, Serpentine Scales, and Hiss on the field equals 8. All right, what is Hiss then? This is a single target. That's definitely one of her incantations. So we'll get to that in a second. Her ultimate is insane though. I'm imagining that with name day, like buffed out by name day. Hello. Ouroboros, a likely name for a snake related character's attack skill. Likely name, likely story. Ouroboros is a snake. You can kind of see here, it's like a circular snake eating its own tail. That's kind of the imagery of it. So yeah, they didn't do the eating the tail thing, but it is like 2 snakes looped and there's an eyeball. They did it. They elicited the imagery of the Ouroboros, and that's all that matters. They got it right. This is a mass attack, and at incantation rank 1, it deals 120% mental damage to 2 enemies, very similar to Name Day actually, I think. And it deals an additional 60% mental damage to targets holding the Serpentine Scales status. So that was what we talk about with the ultimate. So I'm assuming then you probably want to prioritize her ultimate and then her attacks. If you're like, if her ultimate pops up and you have her attack card, you'd probably want to do the ult first and then run the attack. At rank 2 though, this deals 180% mental damage, still to 2 enemies, and the amount of additional mental damage is increased to 100%. At rank 3 then, it's 300% mental damage, and the additional mental damage to Serpentine Scales holders is 150%. So I think that this would hit literally at any level, but obviously the more the merrier, the more stacks you can get in it, the better. But in a worst case scenario, I don't think you're out of luck if you're running it at rank 1. Rank 3 is obviously the best. And if she's your DPS, that's what you want, but I don't think it still does like the same thing, just a little bit less at rank 1. So her buff card then, I love the illustrations for all of these incantation cards this patch. I don't know what it is. Hopefully, fingers crossed, keep reading, keep that up. But I don't know, because usually I don't even pay that much attention to the art on the incantation cards, but for whatever reason, this patch, I really like that. So this buff is a self buff, infinite recursion, which Hiss is not an incantation. So we'll have to take a look at Hiss. It's related to this though. So this is a self buff. Like I said, you consume 2 stacks of Snake's Den, which with Snake's Den, this is this place where the siblings nestle. At the end of the round, you generate 2 copies of rank 1 Hiss that do not take up the allied incantation limit. So I guess these are technically extra attacks. It's a single target attack that deals 50, 100, or 250% mental damage and inflicts 1, 2, or 4 stacks of Serpentine Scales, and then also gains 0, 1, or 2 Moxie. So obviously you want it at like that second waypoint to get Moxie points. This effect counts as an ultimate and does not consume AP. So again, you can kind of see how Name Day's kit and HISSABETH's kit are kind of made to work together almost. Name Day is probably, I would assume, a top tier support for HISSABETH, but you also gain 1 additional Moxie. At rank 2 then, it's going to consume 3 stacks of Snake's Den. You still get, you get 3 copies of rank 1 Hiss, and then you gain 2 additional Moxie. At rank 3 then, you consume 4 stacks of Snake's Den, generate 4 copies of Hiss, and if there aren't enough stacks of Snake's Den, you gain 3 additional Moxie. So the Moxie you gain is if there isn't enough stacks, essentially. Okay, so it kind of buffs itself out. So if you don't have enough stacks of Snake's Den, you get Moxie so that you can get the stacks later, I would assume. Again, I don't think, like, obviously you'd probably want this to hit rank 3, but you still are getting stuff at rank 1. I do think rank 2 is the sweet spot, because here with Hiss, that's where you get the Moxie as well. So I do think ranking it up to 2 is probably ideal, but again, you're still getting stuff at rank 1, so it's not the end of the world. This is a much, like, you don't really have to micromanage incantation levels here, but obviously if you do micromanage them a little bit, you're going to get better results. but I still think she would work totally fine if you don't. As for her inheritance then, her insight levels, this is more passive. At insight 1, when entering battle, you gain 8 stacks of Snake's Den, so right off the bat. At the start of the round, if holding at least 1 stack of Snake's Den on self, you consume that 1 stack and generate a copy of Hiss. This effect can trigger up to 1 time per round, and Hiss and this unit's ultimates do not take up the allied incantation limit. Insight 1, we're back to normal form here. I don't think Insight 1 is crazy, whereas I thought Insight 1, the Insight 1 buff on name day was probably his best one. HISSABETH seems good, but it's only the 1 stack. I'm assuming this might be buffed out in her portraits though, which we'll get to in a second, obviously. At Insight 2 then, damage dealt goes up by 8% when entering battle. Again, very similar layout here to name day. And then at Insight 3, when attacking an enemy that's holding Serpentine Scales, HISSABETH inflicts rigidity on the target and gains 1 additional Moxie. This triggers up to 1 time per round. So both of these, her entire kit, like her passive stuff, is like can only trigger once per round. Again, that might be buffed out by portraits. We'll see in a second. Rigidity though is when there are 2 stacks of rigidity. So this needs to wait. Okay, so I see how this works. You need 2 stacks of rigidity to go on with the rigidity status thing that'll happen. We'll talk about in a second. But this can proc multiple times. The only thing is you won't gain the extra Moxie more than once per round. So this Insight 3 passive will proc, but you won't get the Moxie. It's just gonna do the other stuff. So once this procs twice, it turns into Petrify status, I would assume on the enemy, or extends the duration of existing Petrify statuses for 1 round. So this thing can stack. All right. So that was everything at P0, or 1 copy of HISSABETH. Now, HISSABETH is a 6-star character, so it's going to be harder to get her. However, as opposed to, like I was saying, with the 5-star characters, who you're not guaranteed. You're not guaranteed a certain amount of that character depending on the money you spend. So this is a little bit more like straightforward, but you do gotta spend money. So as we can kind of see here, there's a lot more happening with her portraits. So spend responsibly. Generally, because with gacha games, it is very common for the meta to constantly be shifting, for certain characters to really kind of go like out of style and no longer be used or really be worth much of anything. I don't think reverse is as bad as power creep and meta and things like that, because I feel like even if the character doesn't really do anything on a team, they're still pretty and fun to interact with. So like, also if you don't do endgame, doesn't matter, you only need 1 copy anyways. However, spend responsibly, all that jazz. Let's go into portraits. Like I said, everything we just went through is going to be at P0. This is going to be, now we're going to go to P1, and yeah, multiple copies, all that jazz. My general recommendation though, before we get started with this though, I generally recommend, especially because HISSABETH will be rerun, she will be going into the standard pool within like the next couple of months here. So I don't recommend maxing her out in this patch. We'll see with the portraits where I recommend, like if you do want multiple copies, if you like where I recommend usually going to, like on the lower side, or if you're a low spender, where I'd recommend going to later on. However, my general recommendation, if you are like a whale of a player, you max out all your characters, my general recommendation is to not max out a character during the patch, maybe just low spend it, go a few portraits if that matters to you. Like, because name day's first couple of portraits were really, really good. So we'll see with HISSABETH in a second. But usually I'll recommend, if you want to max out this character, wait for them to get a specific rerun banner, or you will very likely, if you're a high spender, you're doing a lot of pulls anyways, you're going to lose 50/50s and get extra copies of them down the road anyways. So yeah, maybe go like halfway and then get the other copies through happenstance sort of thing, you know? Because you never know where the meta's going to go and if a character is going to suck in 6 months. So anyways, it's time for portraits. So, like I said, everything we already went over is P0. That is 1 copy of HISSABETH. Portrait level 1 then, or 2 copies of HISSABETH, is going to be a buff for Eternally Inquisitive. This is her passive stuff. I figured it looks like a lot are for this sort of thing. So they also changed the format of it. Like it'll be like, because here it's after casting experimental rocketry, but usually it'll be like experimental rocketry, and then have the stuff. So it's a little bit different. They're changing it up a little bit, which I will say the last couple of patches, the wording on portraits has been a little bit off. Like I'm not saying off in the case of like, you know, when like you read something translated by AI and it's like, what's happening here? I'm not saying it's like that at all. It's just like certain parts seem redundant and it's like, wait, what does this mean? So I do like that they're switching up their sentence structure. That might help a little bit. So we'll see. Portrait level 1 though, at the start of the round, if holding at least 1 stack of Snake Stem on self, which I do believe you start with 1 stack. Yeah, at Insight 1, you'll be gaining 8 stacks. So at the start of the round, if you hold the thing, but also it's every round. So this seems pretty easy to proc then. But you'll consume that 1 stack of Snake Stem and generate a copy of Hiss at rank 1. This effect can now trigger up to 2 times per round. Hiss's mental damage is then increased to 75% at rank 1, 150% at rank 2, and 375% at rank 3. I do think this is a really good portrait just because it's doing multiple things at once here. It has the generating a copy of rank 1 Hiss, but then also, which Hiss is its own, it technically is an incantation card. It will come up, but it's just gonna probably look different. And now that I'm looking at it this way, I'm assuming that's what that's going to proc as. We'll get into our survey in a second and we'll see, but I'm assuming that's how that's going to work. This effect can now trigger up to 2 times per round. I didn't even process that. Yeah, because here it can trigger up to 1 time per round, and it did that on both sides, her 1 and 3 level for her insight. So I'm looking at this and I'm like, yeah, this is actually really, really good because that ups it to 2. So yeah, I do think her portrait level 1, like you could stop here if you're a low spender, or like I said, recommended for the high spenders, maybe going on the lower side and then getting more copies later on. I think her portrait 1 is like really good. I would actually recommend her portrait 1. Because it has 3 things. It has the Snake Stem thing, it has the effect trigger, and the mental damage is increased from, it goes from 50 to 75, 100 to 150, and 250 to 375. That 375 is a hitter. So like, I think her portrait 1 is really good. It's a really good bang for your buck, essentially. Like you're getting a lot here for 1 extra copy. You do have to kind of weigh the pros and the cons though, because obviously you're gonna have, like, what is it worth it to spend that much money? It's gonna be worth it for some people and not worth it for others, so do with it what you will. Portrait level 2 then, or 3 copies of HISSABETH, is another buff for Internally Inquisitive, her passive. So when attacking an enemy that's holding Serpentine Scales, HISSABETH inflicts rigidity on the enemy and gains 1 additional moxie. This effect can now trigger up to 2 times per round. So rigidity is related to her Insight level 3 passive. So with that one, or initially, it is only triggering once per round, but now it can trigger 2 times per round, which immediately makes it a lot easier to get that Petrify status. So again, I think her 1 and 2, like if you're a low spender or if you're a whale and planning on getting more later, like I recommended, because that's the thing with whales, I generally recommend not going all the way, maxing out a character in the patch they are initially released on if there's a chance to get them later, for the sole purpose that you might not be using this character in 6 months, and then you're gonna have a maxed out P5 character and nothing to do with them. They're just gonna be sitting on your account. So 1 and 2 are really good, and I'd honestly recommend stopping there for most people. And then 6 months from now, when she gets that rerun, which is not gonna be 6 months, it's gonna be less than 6 months, but like when she gets her rerun, she's put on standard, whatever. Because when the character, I think right before they're put on standard is when they also get a rerun. So like Argus is getting a rerun right now, and I believe she'll be added to standard. I think she was supposed to be 2.8. I'm not sure. I feel like she's already on standard, quite frankly. I'm not sure. I don't remember what the dates on that was because that was all the way back in January. And I think that was before I was looking at that even on the patch notes and stuff. So it generally is like 2 patches because I know 3.0 is coming up and these characters are going to be added to the standard pool in 3.0. So they're going to be getting a rerun before that. So when the rerun comes, you might not be using the character anymore. So like, do with that what you will. At portrait level 3 then, or 4 copies of HISSABETH, after casting Experimental Rocketry, which is her ultimate, the Genesis damage taken from each stack of Serpentine Scales resolved at the end of the same round is increased to 100%. So if we look here, generally it's 70, so it goes from 20% to 70% per scale, and here it goes from 70% to 100%. So you're getting a full stack of damage. I do think that her level 3 could be pretty good as well. I like how all of her portraits seem like they're really good, like I said, bang for your buck. Like if you're using the character a good amount, it's probably worth it. So, you know, I don't think ending at 3 would be bad either, quite frankly. At portrait level 4 then, or 5 copies of HISSABETH, this is another buff for Experimental Rocketry, where the effect will change to dealing 750% mental damage instead of 500. So again, I think what I would recommend at this point for whales especially, go to 3, stop at 3. If you're using HISSABETH, by the time she gets that rerun, get your 4 and 5, because I think like having that 750% mental damage seems like a good thing. Like it seems great, but if you're not using her all the time, it's not worth it. Like none of these, if you're not using her a good amount, none of these are going to be worth it. So I would recommend maybe going to 3 right now while she's right up, and then doing 4 and 5 later on, especially for whales. Low spenders end at like 2. You don't need to go that far, but I'm just saying. Level 4 is good, but it's not one of her best ones, right? Portrait level 5 then, or 6 copies of HISSABETH, maxed out character. After casting her ultimate, the Genesis damage taken from each stack of Serpentine scales goes up again to 130%. Yeah, because both of these, like 1, 2, and 3 are kind of their own thing, but 4 and 5 are basically rehashings of the same thing. 4 not as much, but 5 especially, because it's basically a rehash of 3, but you get more damage. But it's not as big. Actually, it is kind of the same exact jump because it's 70 to 100. It's an extra 30%. 4 and 5, I would get on a rerun. If you're still using HISSABETH, whenever she gets that rerun, I would get those extra copies then. But 1, 2, and 3, end there. Whales, end at 3, because 4 and 5 are pretty standard. End at 3. If you're using her and want to max her out later on, do that. Low spenders, end at 2. Just end at 2. You don't need to go any farther than 2, quite frankly. 3 is nice. Maybe go to 3 on the rerun, but I don't think low spenders end at 2, whales end at 3, and get the other 2 later. That's what I have to recommend. I'm sold on that. I'm not changing my mind. Argue with the wall. That's it. Argue with the snakes, right? Argue with them, because I'm not arguing about this. Anyways, we're gonna go see this in practice now. So the moon thing is so cool. All right, gap month survey. Let us do this. Hopefully when we go to grab the survey rewards, it doesn't proc me into her character story quest, because I don't have an Emmy right now. I've been sitting here for 53 minutes. This is gonna be a long patch video because we went through 2 kits. We went through 2 kits, and I think they're good kits, so I had quite a bit to say about them. But if we're looking at the team comp here, we have HISSABETH, we have Baccarola, we have HISSABETH, we have Recoleta, we have Melania, and Vila. So we have, obviously, it looks like, I'm surprised they didn't put name day in here, but like, obviously they want to put 6 stars. So we have HISSABETH as our DPS. Recoleta is also like a sub DPS, it seems like. Melania is also, so we have 3 DPSs and a healer. One of my favorite team comps, actually. Just because it's kind of brain dead. 3 DPSs and a healer. HISSABETH, Recoleta, Melania, all DPSs. Vila is here as our healer. This is a 3 DPS and a healer team comp, baby. Let's start that thing. So what we're going to do here is when we start, I prioritize seeing what HISSABETH can do, and then we'll go from there. So I'm not going to, like, Melania's ult immediately procced. We're not going to do that right away. So is this Hiss? That's Hiss. All right, this is what Hiss looks like. All right. And it doesn't count. All right, that's really cool, actually. So I'm trying to see what we want to do in practice here. We don't have Ouroboros. We need Serpentine scales on someone first. So I think we probably would want to do her infinite recursion first, right? Inflicts 2 stacks of Serpentine scales. I lied. So Hiss is going to be first, then her buff, then we're going to run Ouroboros. Obviously, in normal practice, I'd want these to stack, but for now, I just want to see what these cards can do, what the animations look like, etc., etc. That's kind of the whole point here. And then we can do other things. So I'm just gonna kind of go down the line and run other stuff, because we're gonna speed up the other characters, because I don't care as much about them right now. So that was her versatile, then that's her buff, and then this is her attack. All right. Didn't do a ton of damage, but it doesn't need to do a ton of damage right now. You go, Melania. Yeah, I'm still probably gonna pull Voyager off the 6-star selector. Listen, I like Voyager, okay? I like the star outfit, and already I'm gonna be spending a little bit of money. I need to look into seeing how we're gonna do that, though, because I need to see if I can buy the battle pass with drops, because I want to get drops for the Arcus garment as well. So there will be garment purchases in this video. Don't worry about it. We got more hissing. But now that we saw the animations, we can double speed it and just kind of run down the line until... Ooh, 3 stack on Hiss. Wait, that's gonna be so cool. That's gonna be fun. We'll see if that does any more damage here. But again, I am just gonna kind of run down the line. Oh, skill target. Yeah, just put it on HISSABETH. Oh, I think it's a heal. Oh, everyone kind of needs a heal. That's fine. How I do these is if I can clear it by not paying attention to what I'm even playing on the field, then that means the character's great. Oh, Recoleta's ult is still so cool. One of my favorite ultimate skills animations, quite frankly. Recoleta's. I did not get Recoleta, but still one of my favorites. I'm also realizing I don't think we're attacking the big cat, and that's the problem here. Yeah, we're not locked on the big cat. Lock on the big cat, my guys. All right. I do see her ultimate, so we're gonna... Actually, her ultimate, we'd want to run at the start, I think. So then the other ones can kind of just run whenever. We'll just run them whenever, because I'm gonna turn off double speed to see her ult. Just hit things, because I wasn't focusing on the right cat anyways. Ooh. Okay, I really like her ultimate animation as well. Live Recoleta reaction. Not Recoleta. Why is it Recoleta? Oh my god. My brain was broken. I was thinking about Recoleta's ult. Live HISSABETH reaction, quite frankly. That's so funny. I love her ult because it's literally, she's the comic relief character. And I don't know how she ended up being the comic relief character for this patch. Oh my God, HISSABETH. HISSABETH. I love her. I don't know if I love this team for her. The 3 DPSs and a healer. I would have liked maybe 2 DPSs and 2 supports, like a 50-50 team split here. Because I feel like she could do better if she had a support on her. You know, also, you froze my healer. Oh my God, I have the hiss stacks so easily. That is insane. Her ultimate is already ready to go again. It's insane. She's crazy. Guys, she's crazy. HISSABETH is crazy. We're gonna see it again. I'll say the right name this time, I swear. Live HISSABETH reaction. There we go. That's so goofy and I love it. Oh my God. Yeah, I think she'd work better with a 50-50 team comp or like a hyper carry team comp with 2 supports. Or like, in this case, it'd be 3 supports, 1 DPS. But I think like that hiss skill and her ultimate proc very easily. So also the debuff dispelling. Like there's so many copies of hiss and they don't count. It's free real estate. Cause look at this. Versatile, like what is this one called? This is Vila's Flood of Fiction. That counts. Wait, no, it doesn't. Flood of Fiction is not Vila's. That is Recoletta's. I think Vila might have something like this too though. Flood of Fiction is Recoletta. So we're just gonna that counts. Or does it? No, it does not. It's a precast, it does not count. So this like it adds to it. Like hello? Also, I want to do her ult first. I really am trying to get this to stack over here, but it's not clicking. I'm looking at this. I wish we could like just insert something in, like just like slide it in, because now I need to redo the whole thing. You. Are you a heal? Or do you buff a character? We're just gonna pretend it does something. You. Nope, wrong one. Oh my God, I have to do the whole thing over again. Okay, you. Nope. You. There. You. Did I want to do this buff first? No. You. Okay, just run that back, please. At this point, we're just trying to run out the boss here. It's taking forever, it feels like, though. Maybe as it's like a damage over time situation, like the damage gets better the more rounds you go through. I don't know, though, because I feel like this is taking forever. Maybe it's a skill issue on my part, but also I'm like, I just don't think this is the team comp for her, and that's okay. Oh, you froze, Recoletta. I need to run heals. Oh, she's not frozen anymore. It's fine. This is gonna be a heal round. Okay, no, HISSABETH is unfrozen, but Recoletta is frozen. Okay, that heals, and we can heal that. We dash. Yeah, sure. Yeah, I just also this boss has so much like defense or something. It's just a big cat. So much happening. All right, precast on HISSABETH. I did it wrong. I'm gonna that line. Discoveries are measured in something. It's gonna be like as I keep cutting it off, so I don't know the full line, but I keep hearing it over and over again. You, and then you. Oh, that's not gonna stat. Oh, I'm like, that's the same card. No, it's not, stupid. Oh, I did that. You. I'm trying to decide what I want to do here. I need you to get over here. You do that. I need those to like shuffle because I have the 2-star one, the 1-star one, and then another 2-star one. I might just play the 1-star one next round, quite frankly. You know, I'm proposing a quality of life feature for Reverse 1999. Turning off the ultimate animations after you see it the first time in battle, because that would be really helpful for a team like this that they keep ulting. They just keep going. Oh, see, you have to. Oh, okay, taking out the little guys drops the boss's shield, and then the boss starts taking big damage. But also, it freezes your entire team. Okay, you know what? Melania's unfrozen, so we can get some damage going with her. We also have precasts, so I can run as many precasts as I want here. This ult, actually, we can move things around. So we'll run precast. We're gonna have to throw this out a little bit, and then we can just shift things around. So like I wanted to shift these 2 around so those stack for later on. And then I think I'm just gonna shift things. So like it like uses that turn, because I don't think it's a problem if I use the freezes, but also I don't want to risk it and then run out of those incantations later on, you know? I guess we'll also see if the hisses will roll over. Oh, you're shielded again. My God. Luckily, it still takes damage when it's shielded, but just not as much. I just think this boss kind of sucks. It's like one of those ones that's not hard to fight, but it's annoying to fight. It's one of those critters, you know? Vila, I think, is a pretty good healer for this team, though. I will say that. All right, see? We're all unfrozen. So the hisses, if your character's frozen, you don't get more of them. So there is that. Run that. Oh, I did it in the wrong order. Ult. 1, 2. Run that one. Run you, because I 3-starred you. Just run it. I don't know if we're going to use this whole round even, because I have some big damage numbers going out. I do want to pull for HISSABETH, though, and I planned on pulling for her, so it's not a big deal. Ooh, there was that petrify status as well. Yeah, it's petrified. Ooh. I don't love this team comp, which is fine because I don't have like the other two DPSs. I don't have those characters, so it's fine. It's fine. I would run a different team anyways. I want to run HISSABETH with name day really badly. So honestly, truly, on the daily, I'd probably run more of a hyper carry team because it would be HISSABETH, name day, and then Vila, and then I'd have somebody in the suitcase, obviously. All right, I guess we can run like a normal comp, but we're not gonna go this far anyways. So like it has literally 2 health in a dream here. Literally this first ult from HISSABETH is gonna take this thing out. Oh, but we gotta take out the little guy too. It's always the little guys. It's always the little ones. Every time. It's a good thing I took the attacks because like, we gotta take out the little guy. And it's shielded. Oh, bye-bye. It took me 10 rounds to do that. My God, that was rough. I like how Vila healed everyone. We didn't need that heal, Vila. Comrade. All right, let's go. Full time, baby. I don't have that many pulls though, but we are gonna spend a little bit on garments. All right, enter. Oh, thank God it didn't throw me into anything. Love the UI though. That's quite fun. So we're gonna claim her survey rewards. Gonna do our task stuff. I gotta move the box back. Final consensus though, I don't know if I fully recommend HISSABETH, quite frankly. Does this make sense? I don't know if I recommend her, but I think her kit's fun because she's just ulting all the time. And the hiss stacks like insane. So there is that. All right, we're gonna do our polls first, and then we're gonna use our 6-star selector, and then we're gonna buy garments. That's the new plan. All right, so I have 610 clear drops, 1 unilog. I might have bank pull. Okay, I can get 7 from the bank because I ran out of tracks. So we'll come back to you. I can almost get 1 from the triple counter though. So we now have 8 unilogs. Pity-wise, where am I at? Oh, I lost a 50-50 to Kakania, so I am like fresh off. 13 into pity. However, I'm guaranteed. So let's do a 10 pull. This is gonna be like our only 10 pull. Is it the right shade of gold? Probably not. But we did get, hopefully, fingers crossed, 1 copy of name day. Yep, it's my name day. Awesome! Oh, I love his voice. He's cute. I love him. I will let you know if I need help with anything name day. I'm building you today. As soon as I finish end recording or stop recording, that's what the button says. I am building name day. Oh, I didn't meant to click on onion. We also got more tracks so we can buy more bank pulls. All right, 2 more bank pulls. Yippee. All right. So you're at 13. That brings us to 23. So this will be 24. We're gonna skip because it's white. And then 25. Oh dear, is it the right type of gold? Is it early? Okay, it's just a 5-star. Hopefully this will be another copy of name day. Because I could, all right, I think it is. Oh no, Ulu, hello. Of course there's a robe for you, Ulu. I have pulled her before though, so. This does give us another unilog here. I should have saved it to get 6. I really want 6. I think he's so pretty, but I'll take my unilogs. All right, that was 25, so this will be 26. Purple, so we'll do a skip. Hello, Oliver. And then we have 1 more. So this will be 27. It's another purple. Cristallo. All right. What are we doing track-wise here? I'm halfway to getting my last unilog for the month. Okay. I think we're at like 26 or 7. So there will be more polls to be done, especially because I have not logged in. However, I'm not going to lose a 50-50 with this one because I already lost my 50-50. So that being said, okay, so I already claimed the free thing. So I have to go to warehouse instead, use my 6-star selector. Here it is. You are allowed to sit on this, but I'm pretty set on who I want. And that is Voyager. I don't know if I'm going to use her. I would like to though. She's just so pretty. And I really want to buy the battle pass outfit. Also, if I pay like $5 for the battle pass, I'll be more inclined to log in because then I paid for the battle pass. I think she's so pretty. And I don't think, like, I think the fact that I've been getting fed a lot of Voyager content on my like social media timelines for the last couple of months has not been helping because I'm just like, ooh, Voyager is so pretty. Because I do want Medicine Pocket as well. Medicine Pocket's a healer. Voyager is a debuff. Yes. What does she do? Confusion status. She has the confusion. Critical resist minus 25%. I think I'm just gonna grab Voyager. I'm grabbing Voyager. I'm doing it. Confirm. Just do it. I'm just grabbing Voyager. She's cute. Oh, look at her. Cute. She just laughs and waves. I love her. Voyager's my new daughter, everyone. Okay, I see those jars of Precasm candies. We're not gonna look at my cells. You can't see my cells. They can't hurt you. So that being said, Battle Pass garment. All right. So how can we unlock the collector's edition? I do have to spend actual money. I can't just use drops. What if I hit this? I'll blur it out, don't worry, because my PayPal's probably gonna pop up. I spent money on this game before. Yeah, you do have to do this with a payment. It's not $5, it's $10, by the way. So that'll have to be separate. If we go to the bank, then the garment shop, we have the Asteroid Allegro outfit for Barcarola and the Starbound Bounty Hunter outfit for Argus. Argus's is cheaper. It is $6.99 because it is on, you get like a sale on it during the patch, because this is not the advanced garment. I just really like it. It's 880 crystal drops and I have 110. So if I hit buy, go to Puddle of Rain. So I need like 770. So that would have to be $14.99. I'm just, my brain is using this here, right? So it would be $14.99, but I would have a lot of like spillover, which it sucks that, because of the $5 tier would do it for me. It would do it for me, we'd be fine. But I don't have the extra, because I need something in between these two, but I don't want to spend, like I need to spend $10. But honestly, like I got paid today. Honestly, truly, I got paid today. So like, I heard that one of my coworkers was saying this because we were talking at work, and my coworker, there was like cookies out at one of the tables at work, and one of my coworkers like was like, hey, you should eat the cookies. You like these cookies, to another coworker. And he was like, no, I'm on a diet, which we're not going to get into diet culture and all that. But he's like, no, I'm like working out. I'm on a diet. Friday, we get paid, and that's my cheat day. And I thought that was the wildest thing. And I'm like, huh, I guess that makes sense. You get paid, so you treat yourself to a nice meal. Yeah, that makes sense, actually. Like, I was like, that makes sense. Yeah. So you know what? It's Friday. It's payday. We're going to treat ourselves to a little bit of gacha pull stuff. You know? Coworker logic. All right, I'm going to split the recordings so you guys don't see my payment details. But I am going to do both at once, I think. So I will buy the crystal drops, and then I'll do the second payment for the battle pass, and you'll next time you see me, we'll be at the battle pass. I got a crystal casket. So I did get 2 PayPal notifications. Don't worry about it. Claim all. Baba! Voyager garments. How pretty. I'm so happy to have one of the tarot card garments. Y'all don't even know. Awesome. Look at her. Cutie. Oh, I love this garment. This garment specifically, I adore as well. So I was just like, I'm like, you know what? I could get Voyager and her garment. Let's just do it, y'all. You know what that means though? Gutian, you're being scrapped, Gutian. Voyager in her pretty little dress is going on the main screen for now, because I haven't bought Argus's yet. Pretty. Oh, she's adorable. Look at her. She's very quiet, but I love her to death. I see where everyone was like, Voyager this and Voyager that, because she's just such a cutie. Also, I love this so much. Oh my god. All right. So I have 2070 crystal drops. I kept calling them rainbow drops. They're crystal drops. Back to the bank. Garment shop. Argus. Crystal drops. I think technically I might have enough for Barcarolas as well. I do have enough for Barcar. Oh, this is dangerous, because I'm like, we could get both. I have both of these characters, but there's another garment I want, I think literally next patch, but it hasn't been announced for global yet. So I'm not going to say what it is, but you probably know. But also that garment, I don't really use that character a ton, so I don't know. Argus I use a ton, so it's worth it for me to do this. It's worth it for me to do this for Argus. Pretty. I love it. What is her line? We do meet again. It really isn't. I'm gonna take a nap first. I love her. She's just like me for real, for real. There she is. Pretty. Voyager. I also want to pin Voyager really quickly. Oh, hi, Blondie. She's gonna be all the way at the bottom here. Though. Voyager, pretty. Oh, she's humming. Oh, wait, I like this piece. She's so cute. I love her. I'm so happy I grabbed Voyager. Oh my god. Charmaine, I still love you, but I'm so happy we grabbed Voyager. Cutie. I love it. All right, well, I just spent $25 on this game, and you know what? I don't really regret it, quite frankly. Where did I get another? Oh, I got another Unilog from the Battle Pass, so we're just gonna... Nope, still nothing. Hi, Poltergeist. Do I have enough tracks? No, I don't have enough tracks. We'll get there, it's fine. I'm not going to use my... do we want to get the Barcarola outfit? Because I do have Barcarola, and I do like the outfit. Where is... Oh, there she is, Barcarola. Right here. Because I have enough for it. But I'm like, I should save my crystal drops. But also... there will be more paydays. I'm using coworker logic now. That one line from my coworker literally did my brain in, because I'm gonna think about that every time I want to spend money on a gacha game now. Coworker logic. I don't splurge on food, so I'm gonna splurge on my little gacha game. It's a business expense. Oh, do I want the, oh, I keep going back and forth. Let's look at the garment really quickly before we end. Do we want it? Oh, because it's cute. It is cute. And it's I don't have an advanced garment either. Because here's the deal. The one other one I want that's like next patch or the patch after is for a character that doesn't really get reruns, quite frankly. And like I have the crystal drops, and like next time I can just do the straight buy. You know, I'm gonna do it. I'm just gonna do it. Pretty. It's pretty. Come on. I don't have any advanced garments either. So like, come on. I love it. She's cute. Good dressed. I would make the I'm never going to financially recover from this joke, but you know what? I will. It's fine. We'll do it. We'll get there. All right. That is it for this patch video. It's very long, which is going to be a pain in the butt for me to edit. But you know, I had a great time. I got how many copies of Name Day? That's not what I needed. How many copies? I did not get HISSABETH yet. I did not get her yet. Also, I used all of the, literally, right back where we started the video with in terms of crystal drops. I started with 110, we're back to 110. I used all of them to get those 2 garments. Which, you know what? $15 for the 2 garments isn't bad. Like, I got 2 garments for $15, whereas like in Genshin Impact, I'd pay $30 for 1. So like, also don't look at my level 1 Kikania. I haven't started building her yet because I haven't been logged in. I'm gonna build these characters today. Don't worry about it. I'm gonna start building them today. There was something, oh, Name Day. Where's Name Day? I gotta pin him too. Name Day. There we go. Name Day. I love his voice too. I love everything about Name Day. He's so cute. Let me just pin him. Oh no, I didn't get a second portrait for him. It was Ulu. Ulu popped up. Okay. So Ulu, you have a portrait. Ulu, where are you? There she is. It was Ulu who got the portrait. I would say this was a successful day of polls. We didn't get HISSABETH, so we do unfortunately have to pull up HISSABETH on the summons page. But it was still a very successful day of polling, and that's all that matters. Very successful patch video. I now have 12 days to get HISSABETH. So yeah, that's it for this video. If you like this video, make sure to give me a like down below, as well as subscribe for more, and click the little notification bell to be notified when I upload new ones. In the comments down below, let me know how your HISSABETH polls went. Did you go crazy on garments like I did? I think it was worth it. Coworker logic. Let me know in the comments down below. But as always, I hope everyone hatter is having a super lovely day wherever you are in the world. I hope all HISSABETH wanters are HISSABETH havers, unlike me. And I'll see you all on my next video. Bye, guys.